This animation gives you a quick look at how Pullrite's universal mounting bracket kit works for the 14 and 18K Super Glide hitches. If we get the tire and wheel out of the way, many of you will recognize the actual frame. We're installing this universal kit on a Ford Super Duty truck, where the frame has been basically unchanged since 1999. Choosing the correct mounting template, referenced in the paper instructions you get with the mounting kit, will position it in the truck bed and center it between the wheel wells. Many installers will then use duct tape, scoot guard, or other means to secure the template and keep it from moving while working. Once the template is correctly positioned, measuring from the back edge of the truck bed to the back edge of the template, identify the correct set of pilot holes by referring to the paper instructions. And drill the front 1/16 inch pilot hole. Then we'll check underneath, holding the L bracket up to the frame to confirm that the pilot hole drill bit comes through centered in the hole in the L bracket. You'll notice that on this particular application for the Ford, you'll have to notch the bracket to clear an obstruction on the truck frame. Not all trucks require this notching. However, we've chosen this one to show one example of how to overcome frame obstructions. If the hole is not centered in the L bracket hole when the notched bracket is positioned on the frame, you may have to adjust the template accordingly and re-drill the pilot hole. Drill the back pilot hole on the driver's side, and then hold the back angled L bracket up to the frame to make sure it will clear obstructions on the truck frame while centered on the pilot hole. Once the two driver's side pilot holes are confirmed as being in the correct positions, you can go ahead and drill the other pilot holes. A quick side note, if the template moves or you make adjustments to the template, you'll need to make the adjustments to all four holes. You'll have trouble if you try to adjust just one hole without aligning the others, as the holes in the templates are all accurately located in relation to each other. Using a step drill, drill the base rail holes out to at least 3/4 inch for all the base rail bolts that will secure the rails to the bed. Some installers will drill the base rail holes slightly larger to make installation easier, knowing that the base rails themselves will cover the excess hole diameter. Now that all the base rail holes are done, many installers will simply pin the hitch to the base rails and set the assembly into the bed so that the base rail bolts can be dropped into place. Loosely tighten the bed rail bolts using bed shims where needed to prevent crushing the bed corrugations. Once we're ready to begin tightening the bolts down. Make sure to hold the L brackets tightly to the truck frame while fastening them to the bed rail bolts. If you then tighten up the base rail bolts before drilling the frame holes and make sure to keep the L brackets tight against the frame, it will ensure that the base rail pins securing the hitch to the rails fit properly. Once the L brackets are in place, it's now easier to drill the two frame holes for each bracket now that they're accurately positioned. Insert each of the frame bolts through the L brackets and tighten. Waiting to tighten all the bolts up until after you've got everything aligned will ensure that all parts are properly aligned, that the base rail pins will work more easily, and that nothing is in a bind. Finish the installation. That's a quick look at using the universal mounting kit for Super Glide installations. This animation is not intended to replace the written instructions, which should always be followed, but is simply a quick overview. This animation gives you a quick look at how Pullrite's universal mounting bracket kit works for the 14 and 18K Super Glide hitches. If we get the tire and wheel out of the way, many of you will recognize the actual frame. We're installing this universal kit on a Ford Super Duty truck, where the frame has been basically unchanged since 1999. Choosing the correct mounting template, referenced in the paper instructions you get with the mounting kit, will position it in the truck bed and center it between the wheel wells. Many installers will then use duct tape, scoot